For me, put it this way, I think of Drake as a black man. I think of blackness as a Pan-African for me personally, and I see Black people in Canada as a very important part of our puzzle piece. And I see Black people in Africa as a very important part, the Caribbean, and so on and so forth, in the UK and Europe. So I don't see Drake as any less Black than we are here.
We're ready. We're prepared. Do not give in to fear. We are fearless. This is not the time to be afraid. This is a time to stand up and fight back and to resist any temptation for them to divide us. We're in this together. The rule of law is on our side. We will not give in, not give up. We will not capitulate. We will not bow. We will not bend. We will survive.
Lately, y'all have really showed up.
Yeah, welcome back to the show. He goes by the name of Speech. Welcome back to the Karen.
Wow, sister, that right there, that was a premiere right there. That was literally the first time that's ever been played on the radio.
Are you serious?
Yeah, like right at that very moment. So your listeners were the very first to be able to hear that.
I feel like I'm in a time warp. But it's a special kind of time warp where there's chaos and a lot of dis-ease and craziness going on. But at the center of it, we got the summer of Kendrick Lamar that kind of like centered us on who's not like us and who is and what's going to move. There's now a standard of excellence that we're going to demand from everybody that comes into want to work with us. And then here you come throwing it back to the way it was before, where music, we can have joy and messaging and centering humanity. So I just want to say, first of all, thank you, because that's a bopper.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Yeah, we're very excited. Very excited. Yeah.
What sent you back into the lab?
A lot of things. It's a lot of the things that have been happening over the years with Black music and with our people, and just in general in the world, has sort of started my pen to writing, and then getting in the studio, making sure that we have a voice within this sea of whatever confusion, love, hate, all of it. Just making sure that we're a part of that conversation because we're still here, we're still alive and doing our thing. So, and still passionate. So yeah, that's what got us here.
I've been following you for a minute, and I'm landing on this accountability piece.
Yeah.
I feel like we have abdicated. Like I woke up yesterday, the president's dropping the F-bomb and the vice president's giving two middle fingers and the middle finger. And I'm like, the lack of decorum. And I feel like there's a desire on the parts of some people to let themselves off the hook. Like, well, the president does that. Oh, look at the way the world is. Why should we behave a certain kind of way? And I'm saying, because we're not like that. And if we're not like that, then we should not accept it. And we should not behave that way. Just because it's acceptable doesn't make it acceptable to us. And we should always raise the bar standard-wise on how we're going to behave. Just because everybody's acting like they have not been parented properly or they don't have any home training doesn't mean that we should follow suit. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, first of all, I thoroughly agree with you. I think that we have to have accountability, like as a community. We have to have accountability as one of our top tier principles, period. I mean, even well before Trump ever got into office, it's something that I think we do need to, put back up to the top tier in as far as our principles, as who we are as a people. Definitely. Yeah, definitely. We probably disagree. I can tell by your intro, we probably disagree on the Kendrick part. I was a fan of Kendrick, but not as much since that battle. But the accountability piece, obviously, we're very much in sync with.
I believe that we can have differences of opinion and still love one another and still
Without a
learn
question.
from
Yeah.
other people's opinions. I'm not a huge fan of current hip hop and rap for a lot of reasons. I think that they don't respect words the way they should. I think that words are powerful. And I'm also
Yeah, we
thinking
agree on
100 years from now, you throwing words out into the universe, the people won't know context. They'll just be singing this or saying this, and it gets into your spirit, right? But I think
Yeah.
what Kendrick did to me was draw a line in the sand. And it was very specific to Compton. It was very specific to where he's from, but it caught because it felt like people been cosplaying in music in our culture, playing in our faces and making a lot of money and becoming very famous without any of the skin in the game. And you can don the veneer of struggle or blackness or whatever and not be in it, to not be in it, to be, and then pretend. I think it really, to me, made it very clear. And I like that. And then the Super Bowl halftime was just finger poke, finger poke, finger poke, finger poke. I was like, yes, 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 all of it, all of it. What did you have a problem with?
I had a problem with all of the battle. Like to me, a battle is supposed to be on lyric skill and not on T or, you know, rumor or in the Kendrick case, what I believe is just flat out lies. So I mean, he lied on another brother. So I feel bad about that. I felt like, there is no literal written rules in rap and in rap battles in particular, but I love rap enough to know that battles in the past didn't go below certain belts on purpose,
Right.
and I felt like he went below some belts here.
All
And
right. Wait. Point of Let me just. Drake started it. So I'm saying again. First of all, you got to know who you messing with. If you're gonna start a thing, you better be able to finish it. And so you started talking about this man's wife and his girlfriend put his hands on it, whatever. So when it comes back, I know that A minor thing just really resonated with people, but you do see him with a lot of girls that are too young or should be too young for a man who's supposed to be this season. I'm gonna mind my business. It's his business who he wants to be out with. But I think it was close enough because again we're dealing in theater and I don't want to get back and forth. I just felt like the feeling behind it was like very, we're going to draw a line, this guy's not like us, and all the details that you find bothersome I didn't have a problem with, but I
now
respect it.
when you say he started it, I don't agree with that. I would like to know where you feel he started it, meaning Drake. Because
Yes.
Drake took Kendrick on tour with him before
Yeah, but
Kendrick
then
was as big as he is.
correct, but then there was something he said about him behind the scenes or whatever, and this man was apparently ready, planning, because the way them things dropped, it was like I'm coming, and then Drake came back, and then it escalated, and then it got shut down completely.
Yeah. For me personally, what I always felt was the beginning of this, that was clear cut at least, was the control verse with Big Sean's record with Kendrick as a guest, along with Jay Electronica. But when Kendrick said, F all of these guys and I want to take all of their fans, to me, that's where this whole thing started. But I know
Okay.
various people have their different views on it all. But
Yeah.
for me, put it this way, I think of Drake as a black man. I think of blackness as a Pan African for me personally, and I see Black people in Canada as a very important part of our puzzle piece. And I see Black people in Africa as a very important part, the Caribbean, and so on and so forth, in the UK and Europe. So I don't see Drake as any less Black than we are here. And I
Mm,
definitely don't see him as cosplaying. I see him as, I've been to Toronto. Toronto is an extremely multicultural,
it is.
um, very vibrant cultural place. Always has been for quite a long time. And so I see Drake being raised in that environment and then having his cousins in Tennessee and his father from Tennessee, which is, I have roots in Tennessee, so I know how Black that is. Yeah, I see him as very much just a Black man.
Mm.
I'm not suggesting that I agree with everything Drake has done, but as I'm
Okay.
saying now, I don't agree with everything Kendrick has done.
As he goes out with Morgan Wallen.
Yeah.
All right, we're not gonna have that discussion because we will not
Okay.
agree on
Okay.
that. I
Okay.
do not see Drake the same way, and I love my brethren, and actually, people can listen to us right now. We have some few folk in Canada who call in from time to time. You're not gonna have an argument with me on the ties that bind us, culturally and DNA wise and spiritually, on the different ports that we were dropped off on. Again,
Yeah.
I don't think that in his spirit, Drake ties into that. But we're gonna disagree on that point and still love each other
Okay.
because
No
I don't
doubt
see it
about it.
that way.
Yeah.
But
No doubt about it.
I
And you're
did
not
want
unique. I mean, there's many people that see it the way you do.
apparently
So
speech, I'm right because everybody no, I actually I say this often, narrow is the road that leads to salvation. So being popular is not the goal here. Being on, everybody agrees with you is not the goal, because usually you're gonna have to stand in the gap and fight. And I think the fight that you're fighting is one that I can get behind, because what you're saying is we're one and we can't
we are.
have these many divisions. I'm in alignment with that. From an artistic standpoint, Team Kendrick, that was fun. I'm still with it. And I feel like the choices Homie is making is not helping going out with Morgan Wallen. But let's put that to the side.
We're ready. We're prepared. Do not give in to fear. We are fearless. This is not the time to be afraid. This is a time to stand up and fight back and to resist any temptation for them to divide us. We're in this together. The rule of law is on our side. We will not give in, not give up. We will not capitulate. We will not bow. We will not beg.